So here we are with author Lawrence Daly of Spa Dayz, the novel. And so Spa Dayz, the novel, how would you describe this novel?
Well, we pitch it as The Devil Wears Prada meets Will and Grace in the luxury spa industry.
I like that.
Thanks.
That's very, so, but you have kind of an expert knowledge of the spa industry, do you not?
Well, I did work in the spa industry for 6 years, and then I promptly ran away screaming
No.
because the high-end clientele, well, let's just say they were rather demanding.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, now in the book, let's. So we're going to go back to the spa world in a moment, but I think we should establish the characters that are in the book that we are learning about the spa industry from, and what the ins and outs. But it's also not just about the spa industry. It's about life and love and all those other things too.
Well, it's really character-driven, and we have two main characters. Margaret is the former psych nurse who's trying desperately to get into the spa industry, only because she knows nothing about it. And then we have Thomas, and there's a lot of me and Thomas, a lot of Thomas and me. He is already working in the spa industry, and he is not necessarily happy there. He's definitely stressed out, he's burnt out, and he's really kind of stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do understand that. But there's also a lot of other characters. Like, I guess, like when anybody works in any field, it might seem like the dream at the beginning, and then suddenly that dream turns to the nightmare. Seems to happen slightly in this book.
Absolutely. I mean, well, you start working at this beautiful place, and every day, I mean, I can speak from my own experience too. You walk in and you think, oh my God, what a beautiful place. I'm so happy to be here. And then all of a sudden someone, screams at you, and the place gets less and less beautiful every day. So at first you're like, oh, it's such a beautiful place. I'm so lucky to be here. And then you're like, day after day, you're like, oh, it's such a beautiful place. I'm so trapped in this beautiful place.
Get me out of this beauty.
Yeah.
So that is, now I think that would probably explain more of the Devil Wears Prada kind of thing you were describing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're dealing with, I guess if you're in any industry that's high-end, that deals with high-end clientele, you're going to have some real characters to work with.
And when you're paying $1,200 for a massage...
What?
Sometimes, yeah. A two-handed massage can be rather expensive because you're paying for both a therapist working on you. So when you're paying $1,200 for a massage, you definitely have lofty expectations, I'm sure. And if things don't go perfect and you're the kind of wealthy person who's used to getting exactly what they want, sometimes complaints could happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I suppose.
it could happen.
They could. Now, have you ever been on the receiving end of one of these complaints?
On the receiving end of many things, no.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, that's what makes the job so hard, is you try not to take it personally, but when someone is screaming at you, naturally, that's what's going to happen, yeah.
Yeah, how could you not take somebody yelling in your face personally?
Totally.
Yeah. So, okay, now let me ask you too. You worked in the spa industry, and I guess at a certain point you probably gathered up and said, hey, I think I'm going to write a novel here. I have enough information. But how much of this would you say is based in reality? How much of this was your imagination?
This is such a tricky question, because I think everybody writes from their own experience, but the setting is fictional. There's no Von Cortlandt spa. There's no Yvonne Von Cortlandt, who's the matriarch of the spa. I wanted to create a character that was challenging and difficult to work for and had expectations of perfection, but also someone that was mysterious, that we don't know too much about, who we find out later has this entire past that explains who she is. And how she came to be the matriarch of the spa. So she's a fictional character, completely fictional. And all the characters are fictional, except for Thomas. I mean, Thomas is basically me.
Okay.
Some days on a good day, some days on a bad day. So that's the answer to that question. Yeah. Well, there's things about Thomas that I think are better than I am, and there's things that I do better than Thomas does.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's kind of weird. I mean, that's kind of an interesting thing. Well, I guess as an author, that's where the fun comes in.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because you can, describe how he looks and describe, some things that he did are very clever things that he said, and you think, oh, I'm really giving myself, making a great impression for people. But then, there's some things that you feel like, oh gosh, I don't want people to think that's me because I actually am more evolved than Thomas is at this part of the story. So, yeah, it's interesting how I feel specifically about where he's at in different parts of the story and where I'm at in my own real life story.
Your real life. So wait, maybe we should find out a little bit about your own real life story, if that's all right. I mean, the basic stuff. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? I know, but just
sure.
Seriously, because you've been in New York for how long now?
Oh gosh, I've been in New York more than 10 years now.
Okay.
I was originally an Army brat, so we moved around the country quite a bit. I lived in Kentucky, California, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, West Point, New York, Washington, D.C. Did I say that? Washington, D.C., Virginia area, and I was born in Germany, so.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize all that.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
It's true.
So you've got quite the experience of many lands. I mean, not that, D.C. and Virginia are all that far, West Virginia are all that far away, but they can't be, none of those places are like New York City.
Oh gosh, no. But when I was a kid, my father's from Queens. My father's from Jackson Heights, which is now a gay Latino neighborhood, which is fun because we went driving through there and there were all these drag queens on the street. And I was saying to my dad, oh, this is your old neighborhood. What do you think? He was like, it's okay with me. It looks great. My dad's, he was a colonel in the Army, but he's incredibly open-minded and very accepting. So yeah, lucked out with my dad.